Here's Lance's head.
Here we go. And hello and welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review podcast. This is episode 150. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else a gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Ryan Cross from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for broadcasts for shooters, hunters, and gun enthusiasts. This week, we got Tony, Rob, and Chad in the house. How's it going, guys?
It's going great.
Awesome.
Hey.
Sweet. So, what did everyone do in guns this week? Starting with Rob.
Not a whole lot. I've been tagged up with work the last couple of days, at least last week or so. We're ramping up for some stuff we're doing at work, so I haven't had time to make it to the range, unfortunately. So, nothing.
Sorry to hear that.
Well, work pays for the toys, so I'll make some more money, then I can buy some more toys and play with some more toys later. So,
yeah, I know that story all too well. What about you, Chad?
Well, since I wasn't here last week, I'll go over what I did on Labor Day weekend. My son Lance and I headed down to Minden, Nevada, to the Axelson Tactical grand opening, also the Veterans Family of Brands shindig. So met a lot of cool companies, and then that was on Saturday, and then Sunday they had a big shoot. We got to shoot all kinds of stuff, meet all kinds of cool people. Marcus Luttrell was there, got him to sign a book. Craig Sawman Sawyer was there, bunch of other people. There were some training companies there, so Lance got some pistol training, which was kind of cool. Got to shoot all kinds of guns, suppressors, the usual. Nat Warfare was there with their flying drone targets. Those are super hard to hit when they're flying RC planes with shotguns at 80 miles an hour. But they're pretty fun. They had their RC targets there too. Triumph Systems was there. We bought some of their pop pack things. You hang them on the targets. They're like paintball stuff in them, and they kind of splatter when you shoot them. They have different, like this one has a square on it. They come in like 3 different colors. Some have a circle, some have a triangle, so you can, and then they come with number stickers, so you can like hang them on targets for training and say, shoot the green triangle or, whatever. So that's pretty cool. And I think that's probably about it.
Sweet. And Tony, what did you do?
You're muted.
There you go. Tony?
You're still muted, Tony.
Well, it's kind of funny watching him yammer on, and we're not hearing anything.
He's having a good old conversation with himself.
Do you want me to skip you, buddy? You gotta unmute yourself.
There you go.
There you go.
Holy crud, dude. My mouse decided to have a life of its own, and wherever I moved it, it moved to the opposite side of the screen. So it was like playing the claw game, but with your mouse.
It was really funny watching you talk to yourself. I mean, you look like you were having a great conversation.
Yeah, I was calling you names. Don't worry.
I had do it unmuted and just tell me what you think of me, really, seriously.
So this week at the range, a couple of things happened. One, week before last, I got to shoot the Glock 43. A lot of people were upset somehow that the Glock 43 didn't work well with me. I just felt it was so thin that it just beat up the web of my hand when I fired it. And that was my story with shooting a Glock 43 and 9mm. This week I decided to do something I heard on Michael Bain's downrange radio, which was use your carry gun to do headshots at 25 yards and body shots at 50 on an IPSC target. I did okay. I was using a target that was pretty much just an outline, white on white, and I was kind of losing the center of the target. So when I put like an orange sticker where the nose would be, I did much better hitting where I was aiming at. I just needed a reference point, if you know what I mean. Yep. But it's a lot harder. It's harder than I thought it would be to put 6 out of 6 on target with my 357 at 50 yards on a body. but again, it was white on white, so I would kind of lose it. But I would put a lot of them on. I put like 4 of them, sometimes 5, but I would always pull one. So I think with a little more work, I should be able to do it no problem. But it's the reason he was doing it like that was to take into account things like active shooter in like a mall, or active shooter in even your big box store, taking into account how long your aisles are. Like, can you put rounds on a bad guy at that distance with your concealed carry piece? I thought it was a pretty good exercise just to throw in there, because everything isn't at bad distances. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you need that confidence as a shooter.
Yeah, I mean, I've struggled with my carry gun shooting 50-yard, body shots. Yeah, it's like you get 3 out of 7.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I understand. I mean, the 25-yard headshots are easier for me for some reason. Maybe I take my time more or something. But yeah, it's a good training drill.
Yeah, I think with my range, it has a 15-yard minimum. So I pretty much put him at 25 yards. That's my starting point with every pistol I use anyway. So yeah, it was no big deal doing 25-yard headshots, but it was doing 50 yards. And I think it really didn't help that my target was pretty much white on white. I would just lose it, where the center is. But I'm willing to try that again with different targets, because I know I can do better, because I've shot my pistols at 100. So 50 shouldn't be that big of a deal if I can see what I'm aiming at. I need an aiming point. But that's what I did this week in guns. It was a lot of fun.
Nice. We'll see. What did I do? I ordered some stuff. So I got some stuff in for review. So first off, I'll start off with this. I've got a Polymer 80. I'm going to be doing a DIY Glock 17 here. It looks like Sean just popped in from Black Bag Resources. How's it going, Sean?
Somebody left the gate open again.
Sweet.
Damn.
Glad you could make it, man.
Thanks, bud.
So like I was saying, I got this polymer lower. I also got the polymer AR-15 lower, and then they sent me their slide for the Glock 17, or you can make this a 40 caliber too. It's kind of your call which way you want to go with your barrel selection. So I was kind of intimidated at first, because I'm not a machinist and I haven't done a whole lot of work on firearms, but I can pretty much take one apart, put one together, and I've never done a complete disassembly of the Glock and all the lower internals, but I'm a pretty smart guy. I can figure it out. So as far as what this is, what really helped me to this isn't so bad, is I went to YouTube and I actually saw videos of people taking their Dremel and milling this thing out, just using a Dremel and just a standard bench vise. It's a little bit sloppier, and you're going to have more kind of cleaning up work with hand files and sandpaper, like 220 grit later on down the road. But I happen to have an old Sears drill press, so I went to Harbor Freight and I got the right vise for it, because it didn't have any kind of XY axis vise in there. And so I'm going to be milling out my own Glock 17 here for review. So I'm going to take pictures during the whole process, and hopefully it'll seem a lot easier for you guys, and maybe it might spread the word and get more people involved, because it's kind of cool. You can order all this stuff and not have to go through any paperwork, because it's not a firearm yet until you manufacture it, meaning finish the 20% of the build. So I got that. I did pick up a Bushnell AK optic, the red dot we talked about last week. I did get it in already, so it's sitting on my AK right now. Pull it up for the camera. So this replaced the Vortex Spark 2 that I had on my my gas block, my Ultimac gas block on my AK. I want to put that Spark back on another AR that was currently opticless. So this is going to stay on my AK. I haven't taken it to the range yet, but so far it feels just like the other Bushnell TRS scope. It's got a little rubber bikini scope covers that comes with. Just take those off. But it seems to be pretty well done. It's got nice clarity. It doesn't have any kind of hue or tint to it looking through. So, and it co-witnesses with the iron sights. I know I've got a parallel or a parabellum armament rail on there, but it's still got a rear sight So pretty cool. Also, I picked up because I got that on Optics Planet, and I wanted to add a little bit more to my cart so I can get a discount. So I picked up the Kinetic Development M-Lock little rail. These things are sweet. So I think Chad's have you gotten to play with these before?
Yeah, I have one of the riser mounts from them, the little click ones. Yeah, and they work similar with all of them, and those things are the sweetest quick connect things I've probably used.
Yeah, it's pretty ingenious. I mean, it works with M-Lock. It's got these two little circular pegs that are kind of spring activates the M-Lock, basically the ledges there. So I'll take my AK that's got an M-Lock handguard on there, literally just place this flashlight that's mounted onto there on there, and then it'll click, and now it's mounted. So, and then if I want to take it off, you just push the two buttons together and pull right off.
I think they make key mod and pick rail ones too, so for whoever has old school stuff.
Didn't Nate have those over at the machine gun shoot?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
You've had them for a while now. It just took me this long to finally order one in, and now I'm like, well, shoot, now I need more of them. And they make a little bit longer one too. I think it's a 7-slot. So I got the little 3 because I can mount this most of my little small flashlight holders. So it kind of makes mounting a light on multiple firearms easier because all my stuff is mostly M-Lock right now. Let's see, what else am I reviewing? I still got some bulletproof stuff that I'm reviewing. I haven't figured out how I'm going to review those quite yet. Because there's just did you guys read that story?
Yes. Out there and,
yes.
Use the trigger practice.
Was that Florida?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Florida man wanted to test out a flak jacket, and so he dead now because flak jacket. Apparently, flak jackets don't have any kind of ballistic rating. Who knew?
It was great because it's like, yeah, I wonder if this is bulletproof. And his cousin went, "Let's find out." Talk about famous last word. So he shoots his cousin in the chest because his cousin's wearing a flak jacket. All right, let me explain something to you. Flak is for shrapnel. That's it. It's not for a direct bullet.
Flak jackets y'all shoot in the air. You shoot it to shoot airplanes down.
Yeah, you shoot at airplanes with it, and it's just the shrapnel that comes from that. Flak jackets are just worn, at least in the military, to make you hot and uncomfortable.
I don't think they wear them anymore, Tony.
No, they don't.
That was just back in the day when you were
back in the day. It's like giving people busy work. Here, put this on so you hate life.
Well, hey, Tony, they stitch your name on the outside of the flak jacket?
No, you actually wrote your name on the outside of the
I was going to say that
or inside
for identification in case something bad happens.
No, just oof.
So that's about it for what I got going on. Sean, since you're now here, what did you do against this last week?
I'm hunting for a holster for my LC9 because I'm not kind of crazy about anything out there at the moment that I've tried. I got a nice email from the guys over at Arm Neutrality, so I might give them a shot. That's kind of the long and short. I've been doing a lot of ammo stuff and working on my website, which isn't directly firearms related, but it's we're going through another expansion right now to make up for some of the hiccups we had about 9 months ago. So that's where I'm at. Nothing too exciting.
Speaking of websites, this is just going to go into the announcements, but I wanted to let you guys know what I've been working on and kind of hinting about for the last couple of weeks. So I've been working a lot with John Patton and the Gun Collective. First doing a website for the Gun Collective itself. So every day I'm on there posting his videos that he puts to YouTube. So now he's got a home for all that content instead of just Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. He's still very active on all those platforms, but now he's got an actual website where you can go like look at backdated stuff if you missed a show. But also he wanted to have kind of a swag shop. So me and Jake, Patriot Patch Co., we helped him out. So he's got his own store now. It's tgcgear.com. I got the link in the show notes, but tgcgear.com. He's been plugging in on all his latest stuff, including this week's TGC News episode. So if you go to his website, there's kind of a special deal. Not only do you get cool TGC themed swag, But there's kind of a nice little reward to it. So every $5 you spend on his website, you get an entry into a giveaway. And the first giveaway that he's working on is huge. So he's gonna be giving away a rifle. I know what rifle it is, but I can't tell you guys yet because he's still working on like the legalities of it. So he's kind of waiting to finish all the paperwork and whatnot. But it's a very nice rifle. We have talked about it on this show once before.
A Mosin Nagant?
No, it's semi-automatic and it's valued around $3,000.
SKS?
Yeah.
It's 100 SKSs. No, so it's a really nice rifle, and on top of that, he's adding in a boar hunt. So you get to accompany him on a boar hunt in the United States, and you get that rifle, which should be very good at shooting those wild boar. So overall, it's got a value of about $4,500. So you can have unlimited entries. Obviously, if you want to buy one of everything, you're encouraged to do so. If you want to start buying stuff for everybody in your family's Christmas gifts ahead of time, go for it. Every $5 is credited to your account and counts toward an entry, and it does kind of round up. So if you get like a couple keychains, or if you get a keychain that's $750 and mixed with some other odd stuff, and you're short by a couple cents, the system is going to round up to the next point in the giveaway. So we got a Guntrepreneur keychain, and we've also got the Guntrepreneur shirt, makes a comeback with some new design features. And he's got a hoodie, a long sleeve shirt, and short sleeve shirt. He's got a TGC patch, which he hasn't had before. And I've been working on some new patches to kind of every time he wants to kick it up, add a new product. I've got like over 10 shirts and patches that he gets to just add to his store as we go. And they're pretty awesome designs. I work with him on some of these designs, and he's a big fan of big bore stuff. So we got some designs specifically for big bore type firearms. And I'm really excited. So guys, head on over to tgcgear.com and see if you want to buy any of that stuff. And you're supporting John in a way you're supporting me, and you've got a chance to win some sweet swag. So,
especially a semi-automatic big bore hunting a high point carbine.
Yeah,
a very 50 high point carbines. The website says the giveaway is $4,500 value. So.
Yeah, so the rifle's $3,000, and then he's estimating that the hunting trip is worth about $1,500, and he's paying for airfare and all that, so he's flying you out.
Dude.
Yeah,
man, if somebody from Alaska wins, he's going to be losing a lot of money on this giveaway.
Well, when I win, he's still going to have to buy 2 seats on the aircraft, so I don't care.
Right.
Wait a minute, you make him fly you out to where the boar hunt's going to be at?
Yeah, like a 2-hour drive from me. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm making them fly.
It could be a New Jersey boar hunt. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe you can just drive there.
I don't think. Do they allow you to hunt in Jersey?
Yeah, a lot of people hunt in Jersey. I mean, I usually use the car and I'm on the parkway and hit deer, but that's
Addles underneath the overpass.
I'm just waiting.
How many arrows are you carrying, sir? 2. Come with me. We're going downtown.
What's the length of those, sir? What's the length of that? No, you have to come with us.
That's a semi-automatic assault bow, right?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for him to do the Desert Eagle pistol.
Oh, he'll probably do that eventually.
Oh, yeah.
So the rest of the announcements, Patriot Patch Co. I added 3 new patches to Patriot Patch Co. this week also. So we've got the Modern Musket makes a return in a different color scheme. So it's kind of black with white type and green. So that's kind of nice to see that come back. We've also got the camping one. So I did one that has a little canvas pop-up tent, and it's got a Barrett sticking out. So it's kind of a euphemism for like video games. If you stay in one spot and just try and shoot people as they run across your line of sight, that's referred to as camping. So it's kind of a play on words with that. And then let's see, I forgot what the third one was. I've got so many patches going on that I forgot what the third one was. I'm scrolling through the website right now to see if I can identify it real quick.
I'll say that if you haven't, go to the Patriot Patch Company website and sign up for the notifications, because I got something on Thursday or Friday that Jake was running a 20% sale on the what do you call them, the new alcohols themed patches.
The beer ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was running a big sale on them over the weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, is God Family Country? Is that a new one?
No, that's well, kind of. That's one that we try to do for dealer exclusives, but nobody really took us up on the offer. So then we just kind of quietly added it to our catalog. So yeah, that Gun, God, and Country. That's a like a skinny one to fit the back of your hats, or just your name tag patch areas. The third new one that I just added the pre-order. It's Patches Against Humanity.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've been to parties and played Cards Against the Humanity. It's something that we've actually played with John a couple times, and it's hilarious to watch Jake read aloud profanity because he turns bright pink because he's just such a nice guy. It's hilarious. So we kind of have this like hidden underlying joke with Cards Against Humanity now. So I decided to do a Patches Against Humanity, and so we kind of been playing around with the kind of card combinations that would be like relevant enough for all of us. So the black card is what ended my last relationship, and the white card is an AK-47 rifle. So that can go a couple ways, but basically it's like two cards kind of overlapping each other. It's about 3 inches by 3.5 inches. So those.
The Precious Metals one, that's not a new one?
That was also an exclusive, dealer exclusive one that got rolled in. So I guess I should let you guys know about those too. So Precious Metals is on there. Invest in Precious Metals. And then right next to it, Lead Delivery. It looks like the new website that we're doing. All this is in alphabetical order. So that's why I've missed over a couple of these just because they rearranged them all. But yeah, Lead Delivery, it's a USPS mail truck with a Gatling gun on top. Previously, you could only get that with a Guntrepreneur bundle with John Patton, but we've sold out of those shirts. So now I guess we're just adding the rest of the stock to our standard stuff. So we got that. We got the AR-15 cleaning mats added and in stock, as well as the AK-47 cleaning mats that we've had. And then also, it isn't really a Patriot patch, but this is something that I did. If you want to check it out, if you go to PershingArmory.com, that's a client of mine. We just worked on their website, me and Jake both, and we just did a cleaning mat for them, and it's an M1 Garand cleaning mat. So you might want to keep an eye on Pershing Armory and see if you can pick up that M1 Garand cleaning mat because it's pretty cool. It's on Amazon right now, $27. It's all custom designed. It's probably the best looking cleaning mat you'll ever see. So it's got the M1 Garand. It's got obviously all the schematic labels for the parts. It's got a little history into the rifle itself, as well as the ammunition and the evolution of the 30-06 cartridge to go into that. So all good stuff. You can see I've been pretty busy this summer with design. I still need to do a logo for Second is for Everyone, and Tony is like a patient bastard. I'm so sorry for making you wait.
Well, I wouldn't bring it up though. I've not mentioned it once because I'm that kind of guy.
Not to you anyway.
Right.
Oh, but to Sean, I've cursed you out.
It's coming down the line, man. I wish I could add more hours to the day.
I tell you what, though, this M1 Garand, it's pretty
nice.
cool, dude. Yeah, it's really nice. The Garand cleaning mat.
Yeah, I saw a picture of it. It's pretty sweet.
That's because you were there when it was adopted.
That's why it's the finest battle rifle known to mankind.
So then the rest of the announcements, if you want to support the podcast or support other podcasts on the Firearms Radio Network, we have a new pledge program. So go to firearmsradio.tv and click on the pledge page. You can click on the Gun and Gear Review podcast and choose what level of donation you want to do. Those funds go directly to helping us buy more product for reviews and kind of keeps the show up and running. So that is available. You can support all the shows at once by just supporting the Firearms Radio Network in general. So it's basically like Patreon, except Patreon doesn't take a cut because we get all of it. So make sure you go to that if you feel the need to give. Also, go on over to Tony, didn't you say you added a donation button to your website?
Yep, you go over to diversityshoot.com. I've added actually a donation button, so you can please help me out, because it's working out, but it's killing, brother. That's all I'm saying. Everything I'm paying is out of pocket, and with the help of volunteers that are helping me out. And it's really great. But the success means, I have to purchase some stuff if vendors don't come through or sponsors don't come through. I think we spoke about it before in our A show. Everybody I walked up to said yes. We'll be glad to help. And then when you start sending them emails, all of a sudden, hey, we don't have any money. We're out of money for the year. We'd really like to help you out, but speak to us next year. And it's like,
all you gotta do is just say, what's going on with this election here? I bet your sales are through the roof. Help a brother out.
Yeah, it's just a little annoying because I need
broke.
help. They're broke, or they have other reasons, or they just don't get back to me. And I just have one more show this year. I have the October 6th event. So I'm asking for help. So if you really want to step up, come on and help a brother out.
Sweet. So then the other announcement is Black Bag Resources has a new coupon code. Sean, why don't you go ahead and announce it?
I don't know, because I sent it to you and I don't remember all the details.
Oh, all right. Well, I've got it on the show notes.
There you go. 10% off anything in the survival category for National Preparedness Month. Expires October 11th. This is going to be a hard one to remember. It's "Don't Get It Twisted." All one word.
All one word. All in caps.
Yeah, you don't have to put it in caps, but you don't have to punctuate it either, and it's all one word. Don't get it twisted. Tony, are you going to be able to remember that one? Tony.
Hey, listen, when you hit the donate button, if you want to donate new friends, I really like new friends. So if you're like a guy who wants that friend that's black, just so you can tell those jokes at your family reunion, give a brother a call. I need one.
All right, so now we're going to go into the main topic, which is our product reviews, and we're going to try and squeeze in 2 reviews this week. So Chad's got a review, and then I got a real short one right after that, and then we're going to talk about a new scope from Vortex after that. So go ahead, Chad.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll take this away. What we have today is they're a Men 2 is the company, and they are AR-15 magazines in the 223-5.56 caliber, is what they're stamped on them. I had never heard of these guys until Jake sent me these to review, which, of course, he had to send them to me because Tony can't review them. So I checked them out. They seem like a new company. You can kind of get the play on words with the Men 2 for Second Amendment. They have a little Minuteman kind of stuck embossed in their magazine. So I was pretty excited to get them and try them out. So I was going down to Nevada, which I said earlier, so they got a good workout when I was there. When they first arrived, well, I checked them out because that's what I do. I stuck them in a bunch of different AR lowers, see if they'd drop free or anything like that, and they dropped free out of all of mine, and I even have one lower that can sometimes be iffy. It's kind of tight on certain magazines, so that was good. I mean, yes, it was a little tighter than the others, but they did that. They all blocked back the slide like they're supposed to, so the normal stuff. When I first picked them up, they seemed heavier than like the PMags, but I don't think they actually are. They just kind of seem that way. Might be the way the grips, or they're a little bulkier, sharper edges or something. So they weigh pretty much the same as a PMag. They're made from a tough polymer, similar to everybody else that makes polymer magazines. Because they were supplied for review, I tossed one across the road a few times. It's got a few little scuffs on it, but it still works. Didn't do anything to it. And for Tony's sake, I didn't drag it behind a pickup, but I did drive over it. I put some empty shells in one of them and drove over it, and the other one I left empty just to see if it would crack or anything like that. It didn't, so I did that kind of for Tony. The base plates on these things are slightly larger than some of the other manufacturers. I don't know if you can kind of see. They're kind of a little bit larger, which actually, and they have a checkerboard pattern on the bottom, and the number 2, which I don't know if the checkerboard really does anything, but having this be a little larger, it's kind of nice when you drop the mags on a hard surface. It's harder to damage them. It also, if you have them in a pouch, it gives you a little more something to pull on, which can be a good thing. So basically, they come with stainless springs. They have anti-tilt followers, all the good stuff everybody else does. How'd they function? Well, I took 2 of them down to Nevada, and they were kind enough to run them all day for me in a couple of their full auto AR-15s. So, with that said, they ran at least 1,000 rounds through each magazine, probably more like 2, because I saw boxes of ammo keep getting loaded in these things all day long. And with the 2 magazines, one of them had 1 failure to feed all day. So I'd say they're pretty much good to go. 1 failure to feed could just be the mag wasn't seated. It could be the magazine. Who knows? Could be the ammo. But I'd say they're good to go. No problems. We ran them in suppressed guns. I ran them in my suppressed SBR. They run fine in that, too. Of course, they get a little bit dirtier, as most everything does. Currently, Amend 2 offers the magazines in a few options. You can get black, which is what I have, OD green, and tan. And they call it tan, not FDE. So, the anti-tilt followers and base pad inserts are reddish-orange, kind of more of a red. So, according to their website, they're going to have other magazine colors available. Zombie green, ghost white, dark earth, and desert tan. But it's a little confusing, so I don't know if they mean the actual magazine body or if you're going to be able to get different follower colors. It didn't really say, so I'm going to leave it up to when they update their website to find out. But also, when I was surfing their Instagram account, I noticed something that they don't mention on their website, but it's pretty cool for dealers or manufacturers or something like that. They can make the magazines with the Amend 2 taken off, and they can put your name or your company name or whatever there. It doesn't say what they want or how many you have to order or anything like that, but I thought that was pretty cool that it's just an insert in their mold, so they can change that for you. I was pretty impressed with these things. They did a good job with the durability, function. Price is on par with pretty much all standard 30-round magazines. So you might want to give them a try if you see some floating around or just want some more mags, because who else doesn't want more mags? This is probably why Ryan's trying to fit 2 reviews in, because mine's short. His is probably short. Firearm Insider 8 key points we'll go over. Claim to fame, well, it's a 30-round AR-15 magazine. Woohoo. The target market's pretty much any AR-15 owner that wants a 30-round magazine. The features and benefits: polymer construction, anti-tilt followers, stainless springs, textured body and floor plate, and they come in a 30-round capacity. You can also get them in OD green and tan. They do also make a 20-round version, so if you want a short mag for like going prone or something, they make those too. Let's see, we're not doing what the others are saying anymore, I guess, right? Correct, Ryan?
Correct.
Okay, so we go down here to the price point. Suggested retail is $14.95, par with everybody else. You can get them, thanks to, for $14.99, you can get them at Pershing Armory, which is the website that Ryan was talking about the M1 Grand Mat at. So you could pick up some of these and the Grand Mat while you're there. If you need it now, you can get it from Pershing Armory, Amend 2, and I think Brownells has some of the colors. Our rating, the pros, they're durable. That's a good thing. The stainless steel springs, so if you drown them in water, they probably won't rust. Anti-tilt followers are always good. They are made in the USA, somewhere in Idaho, so and you can get custom nameplates. The only cons I could really find are they're kind of rough looking. I mean, they're not quite as smooth, around some of the edges as some of the other ones. So I gave them an 8, which is great. And I think that pretty much sums up the review.
Cool. Yeah, I was curious with instead of having a circular or some kind of, easy, simple shape on the bottom where that you can push up on the follower, they have the number 2. And then I read in one of your, what other people are saying reviews that they said that still using the tip of a bullet worked fine for pushing it up far enough for you to slide the base plate off.
You can just, here's a bullet.
Yeah.
You can just push it so you can't do it by hand, but I mean a sharp rock or a stick or anything would do it. You only have to push it down less than 1/4 of an inch.
Yeah.
So.
And then that grid on the bottom would work if you wanted to use that as a dot matrix to, number your mags, give them a number or a letter.
Yeah, you could paint them inside. Yeah, that would probably work pretty well too.
So that's all I got.
Anybody else?
How did you like them? I mean, just your own opinion. How did you like them?
I liked them actually. Like I said, they seem to run good, which in my opinion is about what I put in a magazine. I actually like the bigger base pad because, I kind of drop them on stuff, and one of these is kind of dinged up from me hucking it around, so that was good. I didn't do like some people and shoot holes in it so that I could see if it works because, well, as long as you don't hit a spring, they're probably going to work if you shoot them.
And then you don't have any 300 blackout to test if it works for that well, right?
I do not. Theoretically they should, but like I said, they are marked 5.56 223, so
yeah.
I don't know.
I run 300 blackout through my 5.56 mags all day long.
Yeah.
So hey, if you want to send me one, I'll be more than glad to try it out in my AR.
Well, I might. I mean, it's not like he sent me 3 of them, and it's like, well, I reviewed them. I could send you one.
They insert and they remove, or they insert very firmly, solid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, hold it up here. I mean, it's pretty much like any other mag. They just go in.
And when you insert into the rifle, it's a smooth insertion.
Yeah.
Because I've had some plastic mags that just jack up at the back, particularly.
No.
Okay.
They went in fine.
Cool.
I forgot to mention. I think it's in the review. They do have little notches, so if you use the clips, you can clip them.
Speed loader.
Yeah. GI.
Did they say if they have they sell them with the windows where you can see how many rounds are left?
They do not have windowed ones, at least at this time.
And for Tony, do they come with 10-round magazine capacities?
They don't list anything for Tony.
Okay.
No, they specifically said Tony doesn't get one today. That's actually on their website.
Yeah, that was the one fault in your review. You said it's the target market is anybody who wants a 30-round magazine. Well, Tony can't have one, so he's immediately excluded.
Tony, would you like to have a 30-round
true.
magazine?
Anyone who can possess a 30-round magazine.
There you go.
Right.
He can possess them, just not in the state he lives in.
There you
And
go.
I'm sure Tony would want one, or 2 or 20.
Yeah, my wife's not going to let him store any more crap at my house.
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that, seeing as the election's coming up.
Yeah, well, you know who you need to talk to.
Yep.
So basically, you're Tony's bug out bag.
Yes.
Listen, if you want to go down that trail, the most important part of your bug out bag is always your destination. Otherwise, it's just a refugee kit. So there's your BBR bug out pro tip for tonight.
Sweet.
My other thing is this, Sean.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you send Sean one? You still have the G-Wax lower, right? The polymer lower?
I do. Yeah, I got the G-Wax lower. The other one that I find is really tight is I have a lower that was marked pistol. And that one's real finicky about what it'll let me run through it. So yeah, I wouldn't mind bouncing one of those around. But I found them on Instagram. I'm gonna reach out to them and find out what their dealer terms are anyway. Because more mags, more gooder.
Exactly.
Especially if the stupidity is coming. At least you have more than one vendor to get mags from.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spread out the pain that will be coming if people lose their mind. Hopefully they've been listening to us for the last year and preparing for this stupidity.
No,
I don't think so either.
the people listen to us, probably the majority of gun owners, no.
All right, so I got 2 more questions for Chad, if I may.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The first one is you said one of your lowers is pretty snug. Do you mind mentioning which manufacturer that is?
It's an Olympic Arms lower that I've had for ages.
Okay. And that one's kind of picky about mags?
Yes, it's. I should say it's picky about plastic mags. I've never had a problem with GI mags.
Okay.
But that's one of those things. Oh, geez, it's 20-some years old.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of I know it. So, and it's just,
again, polymer mags hadn't been invented when that rifle was built. So
exactly.
Right. It predates that technology. So, the other one is: do you use any other kind of loading device besides the stripper clip and spoon that you found either worked well with those or didn't get along with them?
I do not. The stripper clip spoon is the only thing I really have, and
okay.
The other thing I have is children.
Nice. Yeah, mag minions, very handy.
Because
and your crew, right?
Yeah, AR mags are so hard to load.
Well, they also
Really?
They also are really good at picking up brass.
No, they're not. They're terrible.
They're lower to the ground.
No,
Really?
I'll tell you something. Every time I go to the range and I shoot my guns, I have all sorts of kids. They see me picking up a few pieces of brass. Next thing I know, the kids, boom, they're picking up all the brass, and I give them a couple bucks for their effort. I don't care.
That's violating Florida law, right? Having you that close to kids. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Child
It
labor
sure
laws
does it
on
when I
top
drive
of
by
that.
them schools every day on my way to work.
Well, that got awkward.
Yeah, dude. All right.
Yeah.
So, on to my review.
He started
it. Yes, he did. He started and ended it with one jab. It was awesome. All right. So my review, this is actually something that I've had for probably the longest time of all my things that I've reviewed in the past. This is the Leatherman's Skillet Tool, and I've had this thing. I bought it in college, so it had to have been like 2007, 2008, which that was before I even bought my first pistol, which I know that really dates me in the sense that, wow, this kid's young. So basically, when I was in college, I had
6 weeks ago.
Yeah, 6 weeks ago. I had a pretty cool instructor. His name was Scott Mansfield, and he was really into like industrial design type things and products that were made with a cool design. It was an art school, so he knew I was into outdoorsy stuff. I haven't quite hit the period of my life where I became a huge firearm fanatic. So he was like, "Hey, have you seen this yet?" And he kind of showed me the Skillet Tool, and I kind of felt like obligated to pick one up because he was like recommending it to me, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's acknowledging me, and we're bonding. Maybe I can get a better grade here." So I actually picked one up. I ordered one, and these things have been out for a long time, and there's lots of different variations of them now. But so this is the original Skillet Tool. So basically, it's a multi-tool that kind of folds up nicely into a 4-inch long profile. There's the side that shows you it's got pliers on the inside, and you rotate it around. It's got a knife, and it's got storage for the extra bits for the bit driver. It's got a blade on it as well, and you can actuate that without even having to open the entire tool. So there's the blade. So it's kind of got like a little thumb hole, similar to like Spyderco knives. So that's how you open it up, and then it's just got a little that hinged opening where you push down that flange, and then you can close it all the way. So the skeletal tool can open up, and then you have pliers. It's called the skeletal tool because it's quite a bit skeletonized with all the relief cuts CNC'd into the metal there. So it really trims down on the weight. It's only 5 ounces, but it does become pliers. Let me back it out of the frame so you can see the entire tool there. So it is pliers. It does have a bit driver. Right now I have the flathead screwdriver. You can pull the bit out pretty easily. It's just got a little detent. You can pop it out. You can rotate it around and have a different size bit, but the same kind. So it's slightly less wide, a little narrower flathead. Also, it stores a second bit in the handle. So this is where the Phillips screwdrivers are. So there's kind of a bigger one and a little bit more of a fine pointier one. And it has a really nice house that just sits in the grip there. It hasn't come out yet. They built this thing with really nice tolerances to where those bits don't really fall out. So you can use it as pliers. You can use it as a knife. You can use it to quickly tighten a loose screw. It also has a carabiner on the end. It's very easy to snap it onto your belt loop on the go or clip it onto something if you need to. And that carabiner also acts as a bottle opener. So as long as you've got this on you, you can always crack open a cold brew. So like I said, I've had this for so long. The bits, all the finish on them is really worn on all the bits. It just goes to show that I've had this for so long. And I haven't lost it yet, which is a miracle in itself. It is bright stainless steel. They do make them now in colors, so you can kind of have it customized a little bit more to what your preference is. So this thing has been with me for the longest time of anything else I've had as far as tools go or knives. It's really easy to throw into your pocket if you got like cargo pants or kind of tactical 511 pants. Usually there's a pocket that is really good for throwing a magazine in. If you don't carry a spare magazine that way, this fits really well inside that same pocket, as well as your front pockets, jacket pockets. Throw it into your glove box. Keep it in your tool bag, keep it in your range bag. It's just a nice overall multi-tool to have. However, it's not really big and bulky and has a dozen tools that you never use. They kind of kept with the simplicity and sticking with the main tools, flathead and Phillips screwdriver. That's pretty ubiquitous out there. So I'm going to get into the main key points. Like I said, this review is going to be pretty short because I can't say all that too much about this thing. So, claim to fame, the Leatherman Skeletal is an ultra lightweight, bare bones multi-tool equipped with all the tools you need. The target market, I would say, is everybody, meaning everyone that uses tools or has a need to carry something EDC-wise that both has a blade on it as well as some functionality of the utilitarian tools. Features and benefits: the weight is 5 ounces. The plier also has wire cutters built in. The bit driver with the 4 bits that it comes with, they're 2 bits, but they're double-sided. The knife itself is a drop point, and it is 420 HC stainless steel. The carabiner / bottle opener, and there is a removable pocket clip for easy carry. I've taken it off because I'd never liked the pocket clip on there. And like I said, it is only 4 inches when it's fully closed up like this. So the other colors available, obviously they have stainless, they have tan, which is kind of more of a brown, and they have blue, which is really more of a kind of a steel blue, like a matte steel blue, and then they have kind of a bright green. So the price point is $69.85, $70. I think that's about what I paid for back in the day. Back in the day, it was like not even
9
10
months
years
ago.
Yeah, back in the day was Thursday for him. Stop.
All right. You're just jealous because y'all are old, all right? I've still got the youth of life in me. So skipping what other people are saying, if you need it now, Brownells or Cabela's or pretty much any Leatherman dealer usually carries a Skeletal. So there are different models now, since this is the original, but now they have like the Skeletal CX, which basically you get some carbon fiber integrated into the body with the metal. So I don't really know why. I think it's more of a fashion sense really than anything else. Then they have the RX, which is kind of the EMT rescue kind of style. It's bright orange. As far as the main handles are anodized orange. It does have a bit on there that's kind of a glass breaker. The knife itself is serrated instead of mine, which is just a straight blade edge. So that's kind of the EMT rescue model for breaking windows and cutting seat belts, I guess. And there's the SX, which is kind of like the snowboarding model. So they throw in a bit in there that can especially designed to work on bindings on snowboards. And it's got some black anodizing in there to kind of mix up the bitone color scheme. And that is a hybrid serrated / regular blade edge on that one. So my overall score is I gave it an 8.5. So the pros, the knife can be deployed without opening the entire tool. I hate multi-tools that are like in the shape of, pliers. You can open the handles and then dig your fingernail in there to pull out the different tools. Kind of that old Swiss style. I really like that if you need to pull it out and just cut something real quick, you can pull the knife out and then put it away relatively quickly. The self-storage of the bit is kind of nice. I've never lost the extra bit in there. It's got really tight tolerance where it just hasn't fallen out ever. The curved handle, when you have the kind of the plier folded out, fits the contour of your hand as far as the meaty bit underneath that attaches your thumb to your hand. Kind of fits the contour of that quite well. I will say though that using it like in different positions, if you rotated it 180 degrees in your hand, it is not as comfortable, obviously, just because it has a certain shape. So it's comfortable this way, but rotating it around, it is not comfortable that way. So that kind of leads into the cons, but the last pro I wanted to mention is that it's slim enough to fit in the pockets, range bags, glove boxes, etc. So the cons, the tools are pretty minimal. Like they said, it is bare bones. You can get more bits sold separately that are compatible with the Skeletal. So they've got just the US replacement bits. It's $11, and it looks like you get 4 bits. So you get the replacement flathead and Phillips, which if you already have, you're only going to get a duplicate. And then it looks like they have a hex or a torque wrench, which is one size only. That's a number 15 Torx with a smaller flathead on there. So that's $11, or you can pay $24 and get the whole bit kit, which includes everything from eyeglass bits. It's got 3 different Torx bits on there, a bunch of different Allen sizes. But at that point, you might as well just get like an actual, multi-tool or wrench with a bit set. All of this is sold separately, obviously. So you got to keep that in mind when you're buying this thing. They've obviously Leatherman is a well-known company with lots of multi-tools. I mean, they got a multi-tool in their logo, for God's sakes. So if you're looking for a tool that literally has more bits and attachments on there for any kind of job that can come up in your day-to-day life, get one of those. If you're just kind of the person that needs the bare essentials and a really slim profile, then the Skeletal is kind of nice to have. So that's the gist on that. One other thing is I had one of the main screws come out that just loosened over time, and I had to hand tighten it with a different tool, and then I had to use Loctite to kind of keep that from coming loose again. But like I said, this is almost, knock on wood, because I'm going to say this has almost lasted me 10 years, and I'm going to lose it tomorrow. You just watch. So, you guys have any questions?
Yeah, I have one question, and it's just about the overall tool thing again. It has a bottle opener on it along with the carabiner.
Yep.
As someone who doesn't drink a lot of beer that requires a bottle opener. I mean, I went through their site when I saw this was going to be reviewed, and I'm like, is a bottle opener really that big of a thing? I'm just asking.
We're in Oregon, is where the company is, Leatherman. So yeah, we have all the craft brew. Bottle openers are important, okay?
I'm just straight at. I was just asking a question. Don't get ornery. It was a legit question.
Tony,
it doesn't cost a whole lot to put on the device, so they just throw bottle openers on the device.
Yeah. If your cream soda that you like to drink after a hard work week has a twist off cap, that's great for you. But if you ever want to step up to something like, an actual beer and you don't have a bottle opener, kind of sucks. You're like, well, shit. Well, yeah, I've opened up bottles.
Tough talk from a kid who's only been drinking for about 2 years.
That long, huh?
Yeah.
He's an expert on the 6 beers he's had this year.
That's right. Those Mike's Hard Lemonades, man. Whew, they're tough.
Those Zimas really go straight to your head, don't they?
Fan.
No, he doesn't even know what a Zima is. He wasn't around for that. Understand that, right?
I remember Zima.
Yes, I know.
I wasn't old enough to drink it at the time, but I remember Zima.
It was something your dad drank. I know. You remember a Zima. Freaking 5-year-old gonna talk to me about drinking.
But also,
hold on. He also doesn't understand the married guy always has a bottle opener. He doesn't know that trick yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he's got a few months.
I haven't gotten mine yet.
On the bottle opener, sometimes they make them with a nice pointed edge, so you can actually use them to open up like cans of soup or cans of just other cans.
No, I was just asking because it seems to be, I don't know, again, is it just more of a traditional thing that they put bottle openers on these things and call it a multi-tool? Because I have this, the Kershaw Shuffle, and they're like, oh, it has a bottle opener. And I'm like, so what?
I'm just going to tell you the same thing I said earlier. They're in Oregon.
Okay, that's one state. You know that, right? That's just one state. we have weather in other places. We have stuff better to do than sit around drinking coffee and craft beer. We can actually go outside and do stuff.
Yeah, we can too with our 30-round mags.
Oh, we're going there now.
All right. Order in the corner.
Where it doesn't cost much to put it on there, so they just slap it on there and be done with it. Just so
I like it.
It's got another item on the thing to run the counts up.
Yeah,
exactly.
It drives the tool count up, so why not have it?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it was a legitimate question. It was like, okay, great.
Yep. All right, so moving on to the product that we're going to talk about this week. So Vortex and Cabela's have kind of partnered up, and they're making a kind of a collaboration optic as well. So there's a rifle scope, there's a there's a binoculars and a spotting scope, as well as this regular rifle scope. So I just want to talk about the rifle scope with you guys this week. So it's called the Intrepid. Intrepid. The whole series is called Intrepid, but the rifle scope is a 4.5 to 22 50 millimeter rifle scope. So the price point of about $799.99, so $800. It seems to be a just nice, no frills. Well, there's frills, but it's not like overboard. So having worked in a Cabela's establishment, they sell the snot out of Vortex scopes, more so than their own brand of scopes. Miopta makes a lot of their scopes. I forget who makes their U.S. scopes. So what Cabela's is really good at is, hey, how can we get in on this market share? Hey, Yeti Coolers is selling a lot of coolers. Can we make a cooler that competes with that? Well, this time they actually were like, hey, Vortex, let's make a scope that's not really a budget scope. It's better than your Crossfires and your Diamondbacks. But let's make a scope that's got our name on it too, and is going to do really well with your clientele, mostly people that want to go out and hunt with a nice piece of glass on there, but not have some, 2-inch turrets and all this tactical jazz that doesn't really lend itself well to really quick, simple, efficient hunting. So I guess that's kind of what brought the Intrepid scope along. So what, you guys have initial thoughts on what you've read so far before I get into the details of it?
The price seems a bit high for kind of what it is, but I guess, what do I know?
Well, that's also typical for Cabela's.
Right.
Exactly.
Right, like they tend to sell right at MSRP, in some cases even higher than MSRP. So, an $800 price point on a scope through Cabela's isn't really surprising. But at the same time, you'll probably get a coupon that you can knock something off of that too. So
Yeah.
Or wait for someone to return it and get it at the bargain cave.
Yes.
Yeah, but the funny part is with Cabela's price point they have, you can still pick up a Vortex that's better at about $50 less.
Yeah, I've seen some really nice scopes in the bargain cave that I'm almost tempted to sell the scope I have and make a profit by buying what they have marked down in the bargain cave. Somebody bought it, opened the box, and realized it was, mil radians or MOA, or they realized that it doesn't fit the whatever gun they want, so they have to sell it through the bargain cave. They can't just put it back on the shelf.
Speaking of that, this one comes with a MOA hash reticle, which looks pretty simple. They call it the VMR1 MOA, so you can click on it. There's a little picture of it. Looks like a decent MOA reticle, so
yeah,
that's a plus.
So supposedly it's got a really forgiving eye box. I don't know if that's just them putting in a marketing point to add a bullet, but if it does have a pretty nice eye box on there that is useful when you're out hunting. So it's got 4 inches of eye relief. The tactical turrets they're tactical, but they're low profile. They're not huge 2-inch turrets. They're 1/4 MOA adjustments. And also, you could send this when you buy the scope and you get the package. There'll be a little deal in there to order a custom turret through Vortex, that's exactly what I would do if I wanted to buy this for a rifle. I'd just take advantage and get the custom turrets because you can get them different colors too. So if, say you put it on a 308 and you've got a couple different 308 loads, one that's really good for the range, one that's good for elk, one that's good for kind of more medium game like whitetail deer, and you had a load for each one of those, which had a different point of impact through your scope, and obviously different velocities and different drop points. You just get the different turrets in different colors, and whenever you're going to use that, just re-zero your scope with the new turret on there and go about your business. I kind of like that aspect. And if you do multiples, then you're not married to one caliber and one loading. So, obviously it's covered by the VIP warranty with Vortex has, but Cabela's got a pretty good return policy that everyone that works at Cabela's hates it because they see people take advantage of it all the time. Literally, if it's a Cabela's product and there's something wrong with it, it doesn't really matter whether it's 30 days, 60 days, or 3 years, 5 years. They're going to help you out and take care of it because they're just going to go to the bargain cave anyway.
It's a 30 millimeter tube. If you didn't mention that,
I don't think I did.
It's got a nice power ratio. The 4.5 to 22 would pretty much cover about any hunting most people would want to do. So that's actually a nice thing.
Yeah, I mean, most people are used to 4 to 12 or 3 to 9. So being able to go to 22 is a really nice higher end magnification.
Yeah, it seems like an odd number, but hey, whatever.
I think they had to come up with a number that wasn't already covered by Vortex.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is so they can make this specifically for Cabela's because nobody else is going to have the scope.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those. If you like Vortex, you like Cabela's, you got something you like both manufacturer and the seller. I mean, Vortex makes a good optic from what I understand. I don't own any Vortex optics, but everything I've looked through, this Vortex has been pretty clean, pretty crisp.
Yeah.
Well, isn't Ryan the resident Vortex optic snob?
Yeah, I have a lot of Vortex stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of it I bought before I had a discount from working at Cabela's. So,
Uh-oh.
which goes to say, hey, I didn't get the stuff because it was cheap. I got it because it was good at the time.
Now, one thing too is this is a second focal plane reticle.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, it's not first focal plane. It does have the lens coating that's going to be scratch, oil, and dirt resistant. I mean, I watched a video of a guy that put his fingerprint on it, and supposedly it's supposed to resist getting kind of oil and dirt on there. So, aircraft aluminum, O-ring sealed, argon purged, all that good stuff. The most important thing to me is that it's got that parallax adjustment on the left side. I don't really care about illuminated reticles and all that jazz. I really like being able to tune the focus for the yardage with the turret on the side, and it does have that. So that's one of my favorite features on Vortex scopes and any good quality scope in general. So if you know what you're shooting at is 500 yards, you can turn that little turret to 500, and everything's going to be nice and crisp. Doesn't have that fixed parallax setting that a lot of the cheaper scopes have. I do think that this should be in the hopefully $600 range, $500. It says on Vortex's website starting at $999, and then Cabela's has it on their website for $799, which that's exactly what they're going to sell it for. Unfortunately, no one else is going to offer this since it's a Cabela's exclusive, so they don't really need to be competitive with anyone else on pricing. But being that it's a Cabela's product, if you want to be patient, I would wager that it would have sales that are applicable to it. They're always sending me those spend $150, get $20 off deals. Christmas time, I imagine they're going to have some kind of real nice deal to ramp up the buzz on this guy. If you work at Cabela's, you should get a pretty nice discount, being that this is a Cabela's branded product. You always get a little bit of higher percentage on like Cabela's coats, Cabela's waders, Cabela's branded stuff. You get a higher discount on.
They usually do something right after Christmas too, don't they? Mid-January they do like an end-of-year clearance.
They want to keep that train going. They have sales, pretty much before 2 weeks before Black Friday, they'll have a sale to save you the trouble of having to wait through the Black Friday lines.
Gray Wednesday.
Yeah. So then pretty much from there all the way till almost February, they'll be running some really stiff sales. So
that big one after the end of the year is usually the one I find is the best whack on their prices, though.
Yeah. So.
Hey, Ryan, what do you think it should be worth? I mean, as in with the discounts, where do you think you go? Because you said this one is a little high. What's the price point you think it should?
Well, when I say it's high, I'm saying, well, okay, $800. If I'm going to stay within the Vortex family, I can go with any of the Viper PSTs. Depending on the magnification range. I can go with that. This was it the 6.5 to 24, or just stick with the 4 to 16.
6x24 is a big one.
Yeah, 6 by 24. I mean, you're right in that same price point. Really, with Vortex stuff, I mean, if you want illuminated reticle, that's an extra $150, $200 right there. Being that this does not have that, but it's pretty similar to. Ultimately, there's got to be some corners that they cut or some features in the process that they left out that separates this from just the HS or the LR scopes that Vortex offers. Any one of those Vipers, like the Viper HS, the kind of the more bare bones one. There's got to be some corners that they cut to kind of keep this competitive. But yet at $800, I'm like, well, gosh, this should be more like. If they took off $100, I'd be like, man, that's a scope I'd throw on my dad's 30-06 and be like, here you go, happy Merry Christmas or happy birthday, and know that I gave him a decent optic that I'd want to have in my collection. When it comes back around to me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was asking.
Yeah, I think it's $100 too steep right now.
Okay,
that's about what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
that's where I put it at.
But if you're smart, you can save that $100 using some kind of discount cards that Cabela's hands out, like cotton candy. you just got to know how to shop, be a smart consumer, and wait for your moment to strike on that.
Yeah, and you can get on their mailing list, their text list, all of that stuff, and snatch it when it comes on a good sale.
Yeah, layaway and multiple discount cards. That's all I'm going to say. That's the way to do it. All right. So that's the topic that we were going to talk about this week, the new product. So now's the part in the show where we hand the mic over to Tony, let him talk about the second is for everyone.
Yep. Thank you very much. October 6th at Woodland Park, Gunfire Range in Woodland Park. It's going to be the last second is for everyone diversity shoot in New Jersey for the year. If you want to come out, we're going to have some cool guns out. We're going to have the 9mm carbine from High Point. We're going to have the Tommy gun, the 45 ACP Tommy gun is going to be out there, and whatever everybody else brings. But you get to shoot some pretty cool guns. We're going to have food. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have drawings. And we're going to have Second Amendment groups coming out speaking to you. Or if you have, I'm going to check right now tomorrow and see if we're going to have the NRA ILA come out. He usually makes it if he's not busy. And it's election season, so he might be busy. But we usually have these Second Amendment groups come out and actually speak to you directly. I know a lot of forums, a lot of Facebook stuff that I read. People are angry at Second Amendment groups for what do they do for us? Well, come and ask the guys, because we probably have presidents or vice presidents of those groups there. I'm also going to have paperwork to start your pistol purchase permits or your firearms ID card paperwork. We're going to have NRA instructors, and we're going to have some pretty cool guns. I think a friend of ours is coming with one of his custom 1911s that he had worked on. And it's going to be a fun time to get a bunch of trigger time on a bunch of guns for a reduced price from $65 for a range fee to $65 for a range fee to $10 for a range fee. So in New Jersey, in North Jersey, no less, you can go out, eat pizza, get a free swag bag with between $20 and $30 worth of swag in it, and shoot other people's guns for like an hour, all for $10. So I think it's a heck of a deal. If you want to check it out, you want to look at pictures from the last events, you can either go to Simon Says Train on Facebook, or you can just go directly to diversityshoot.com. Also, if you want to help out and you live in another state, you can donate using the donate button on diversityshoot.com to help a brother out, help me pay for food, targets, things like that, just to keep these events going.
Nice.
And thank you very much, as always, for allowing me these few moments to talk about the Second is for Everyone Diversity Shoot.
Yeah, no problem, man. So also we want to make sure we plug the Fight Tyranny fundraiser over in Massachusetts, obviously with the Attorney General putting down the ban hammer on AR-15s and quote-unquote assault rifles. So the Gun Owners Action League in Massachusetts is selling shirts to help fund their fight against this law. So I got the link in the show notes. It's booster.com/fighttyranny. They got a nice t-shirt design that they're selling for $15. It's got tyranny, it's back with a outline of the state of Massachusetts, and then on the back it's got a Minuteman with the Fifth Amendment on there. So proceeds go to fund. It says there's like 2 hours left to go. So I think actually this is closing soon, this little fundraiser campaign. So they've raised over $2,000 with 227 items sold, and their goal was 50. So they've surpassed their goal. Right. But if you're listening to this live, I just want to make sure that people get in there and buy them when they can.
Get over there and buy a shirt.
Speaking of my donate button, I'd like to thank Stephen for actually donating to me to the Second is for Everyone Diversity Shoot. He helped me out immensely, so I really appreciate that.
Cool.
Sweet.
So that's it. Send questions or comments to gungearreview@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review. Check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv/iTunes. And be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and industry coverage. So I will catch you guys on the next episode. Everyone have a good week. Shoot safe and take it easy.
Thanks, Ryan.
Bye, guys.
Yep. See you later.